Alright, everybody, welcome to the Crazy Flyer channel. Tonight we're going to hop back into the FlyJSim Q400-8, otherwise known as Q4XP. We're going to go flying in a livery that I created for X-Plane 12. We're going to do some flying in Tahiti. We're going to fly from Tahiti International. I don't even know how to say the name. I'm probably going to butcher a lot of names if I try to say the names of places in French Polynesia. But we're going from this airport, we're going to Bora Bora. I know at least how to say that one. NTAA is the airport identifier. We're going to just go out and have some fun. I'm not on VATSIM. I just kind of did this live stream sort of last minute. We're just going to go have some fun with it. Go fly the airplane around, explore Tahiti a little bit, and or French Polynesia at least. And yeah, let's do it. Kill the music here. There we go. And let's hop into the airplane. Q400. Let's see. Pull up our flight release here. Let's get the loading started for the FlyJSim Q400. We are flying 59 passengers today. Relatively light load compared to what I usually fly in this. Usually I have this airplane like maxed out with payload, and we're hauling looks like 3,200 pounds of cargo, all baggage and everything. Not totally full, but not exactly light either. Pretty typical. Let's see, for fuel today we're gonna need 5,800, call it 5,900 pounds, rounded up just a hair. Where's fuel? There it is. Been a minute since I've flown this airplane. Been a couple weeks, I think the last time. No, I've flown it, I guess, maybe once or twice since the last time we did a live stream in it. 5879. That's good enough right there. Perfect. Okay. There's our load, landing fuel. Hang on, go back. Where did I mess up? Oh, I didn't put in the flight time. It is only going to be, it's a relatively short flight, 41 minutes en route. That's not too long. There you go, close enough. That'll work. Alright, those numbers look good now. We'll confirm that, and we'll let them start getting the aircraft loaded up. And we'll start preparing the airplane for flight. Alright, taking off out of here. Actually, do we have any weather? Let's see here. Doesn't give me enough. METARs are down here. That works. 0504 is probably depart runway 7. And we've got QNH 1014. And perfect, it's still in hectopascals from last time I flying it. 1014, wrong one. Be an interesting live stream if I'm not resting the airplane. 1014, there we go. So yeah, departing runway 7 based on wind 050 at 14. Looks like good weather, scattered at 2,300 feet. Some light scattered cumulus clouds out there. We'll see if we run into any pop-up rainstorms or thunderstorms like there tends to be in the South Pacific. Alright, now we can start loading the airplane here. Or loading the FMS. Flight plan, go from NTAA, we'll go menu, departure, departing off runway, or runway 4, that's what the runway is here. I've done this flight before. When I created the livery, just for fun after I finished it, I came down, did a couple flights, didn't live stream it though, so this will be your first time doing it live. Sid, we're on the VT4 Echo. Looks like it's going to be on the next page. There it is. Option number 10. There we go. And no transition. Put that into the flight plan. That takes us out there. Whoops. And then I don't think we have any en route fixes. We just go right into the arrival. So we'll put in our arrival or our destination NTTB. Enter. Accept. We can go to list. Nope. Sorry, not list, menu. Arrive. I'm gonna guess runway 11. Actually, let's see. What is the weather reporting down there? 0405. Yeah, we'll land runway 11. Whoops. Back. There's option 1. Let's see. We're doing the HNN1 arrival, or HHN1 arrival. Yeah. 1 Bravo. Option 1. No transition. And we'll probably do an RNAV into runway 11. I believe it's the Yankee. I think this airport, as I recall, the runway, or the approach was climb gradient, or no, not climb gradient restricted. Okay, so it's category C only, which I think we can do. So we'll do that. And that is the Yankee, yeah, R&B Yankee. So that'll be option number 3. Enter. And we're gonna load that. So on the arrival, I believe we are flying like right over this initial fix, which is pretty much right where the airport is. Yeah, we end up here, I think, at the Bora Bora NDB. Yeah, at the end of the arrival, and that pretty much corresponds. It's like here. So I think what we'll do, we'll just set Bambi as our first fix and let it fly that full procedure. That should make our life relatively easy. So that'll be option 1. There we go. I like all that. We'll add it to the flight plan. We just need to delete that discontinuity there. That should take us direct from the Tahiti waypoint to Hotel November, which it does. And there we go. Next, we'll load up the fuel page. So we have, how many? 59? Yep, 59 passengers. And there's passenger weight. We'll use that to get our takeoff numbers here in a minute. I'll just do that on the app on the phone. For cargo weight, 3245 is planned. There we go. And fuel on board at departure, we had, I think, 59 right now. It'll probably be like 5,800 as we take the runway for departure. That all looks good. Very good. And then we'll go through here. And I'm going to punch these numbers into my phone. I'll get our takeoff speeds for us. And trip fuel for when we get to our landing calculation down the road, we are burning 1,591. Call it 1,600. There we go. Got the numbers calculated, and takeoff speeds. We'll do flaps 10. Actually, this is a bigger one. We'll do flaps 5. Got the meter, and show results. 112, 112, 117, 126, and 137. We'll actually subtract, 5 on V1, just so we got a little bit of time in between. And then VFRI 126 and VClimb 137. Cool. Got that set, and then my personal preference when I set up the dash sheet, just so I have some flight director guidance, I like to hit the toga button. Oh, helps if the joystick is plugged in. Make sure hardware is working here. Yes, it is. Okay, good deal. So we'll hit the toga button, and then I like to go up here. We're going to do outcell, and we'll dial the airspeed to our climb speed of 137. This gives me some initial guidance to pitch to on our climb out. That looks good. Now let's brief up our departure. Actually, you know what? Okay, yeah, AP is already running. Couldn't remember if I'd done that or not. Yeah, let's brief our departure here out of Tahiti. NTAA is our departure airport. And let's see, grab the airport diagram and our departure. We are on the wait for go, I think it was. There it is. Alright, so departing runway 4, it's 041 for runway heading, we'll bug that. 041, and then at 500 feet, it's a left turn direct to the Alpha Alpha 503 waypoint, which is in there. And then from there, that'll take us out to the Vady waypoint. That looks good. And let's see, does it give me an altitude on this one? For Echo. Is 5,000 for us. So we'll set 5,000. Initially, once we get up there, really we'll just go to our cruising altitude since we're not live on FlyJSim with a controller or anything. And that should do it. I think we are ready to rock and roll. I never did my overhead flows. Let's do this real quick. Make sure everything is set up. Fire tests are good. Fast belt sign on. Go norm for now while we're on the APU. I don't know what the actual operation of the Dash 8 would be. Not type rated on the airplane or anything. Let's see, everything else up there looks good. We got position lights on. Coming down over here, we got the anti-skid switch on. Those are normal. Those are normal. Got everything down here. We'll just, out of habit, we'll set 2000 TA-RA. Or it's alt on alt in this airplane. There we go. Displays are set up more or less how I like them. Oh, we do need to cross-fill our FMS units. We'll go over here to FMS1, master cross-fill from FMS1, or sorry, FMS2. There we go. From FMS1 to FMS2. That's all set up now. They're we got same information on both sides. Cool. And then switches down over here are good. I think normally the steering switch would be off, but we're not doing a pushback or anything. We're just going to taxi right out of this spot, so we'll leave that on. I think everything else is good. Let's run a checklist, and looks like your airplane's almost loaded up, so by the time we run the checklist, we should be ready to rock and roll. Alright, before start checklist, external walk around is complete, anti-skid is on, fasten belt sign is on. Ramp fuel, we got 5,800 planned, 5,900 aboard. Let's see, altimeters we have 1014 set, FMS fuel page and route are set, nav aids and bugs are set, departure review is complete, and our before start checklist to the line is complete. Now we're just waiting for it to finish loading up the aircraft, which it should be just about there, and we'll go flying. We'll give it a minute. If it's going to take more than like a minute or so, then we'll just do the fast load and get up and get on out of here. Yeah. So these liveries, by the way, they are available on xplane.org. In real life, Air Tahiti does not fly the Dash 8, so it's kind of like my Silver Airways livery. It is fictional, but, you know, the Air Tahiti, the real life company, actually does fly the ATRs, both the 42 and 72. So, you know, the Dash 8's pretty similar. I definitely think the Dash 8's probably the best turboprop that we have for X-Plane 12 at the moment. So, I enjoy flying it. That's why I decided to make, well, that's part of the reason I decided to make the livery. This was a specific request from a fellow pilot on the xplane.org forum. So I made it for him. Thought it turned out pretty well. I've actually got a couple more versions I want to make of these special liveries. This is like the special, one of 3 special liveries that they have to celebrate the 60-year anniversary of the company. So it's pretty cool. They got some, I think their airplanes look pretty nice. So, alright, airplane is all closed up. We're going to get going now. Beacon lights coming on. And we're going to run our before start below the line. We got doors, windows closed and locked. Anti-collision light on red. Transponder on alt. Takeoff data and bugs are set. And before start checklist to the line is driving up. We do not need a tow out of this gate. We're actually just going to taxi out. We'll just do the stop pushback. There we go. Yeah, because we got plenty of room here. I think these gates are specifically designed, or these hard stands are specifically designed to just be able to taxi out without a push screw, at least based on what I see here in the sim. So that's what we're going to roll with. With that said, let's go ahead and start engines. We'll start engine number 1 to start off with. Put the selector on 1. We're going to turn off the APU bleeder. And spinning engine 1. We'll go to the window view for the startup. Sounds a little quiet to me. Stand by. Let me make sure our sounds are up. Break the immersion for. That's why. Yeah. There's some better sound set for us. I like the sound of those turboprop engines. Alright, let's start engine 2. We'll flip the selector over. We'll go outside view to start this one. Wrong lever. Alright, we got 2 good starts. We'll configure the overhead panel. Let's see, we've already got our gens on. Yes, they are. Okay. Let's see, we'll turn the bleeds on. We're going to set that to min. Bring the APU gen off. We can shut down the APU. Let's see, that's set to auto. I think we're all set up here. We'll do norm. Window heats on. Come down here, we're going to configure these. First of all, let's do this check. Check the elevator travel with the isolation, hydraulic 3 isolation valve open. We'll turn that off. Tank aux pumps and auto feather. And there we go. Let's run our after start checklist. Oh, a couple more things actually. Flaps and trim with a little bit more flap. We'll go a little bit towards the aft section of the takeoff range, since it will be a slightly slower airspeed. On rotation, now we're ready for it. After start checklist, battery temps are checked. Main bus tie, whoops, missed that one. Main bus tie is off, de-ice pressure is good, pitot-static heats are on, windshield and pilot side window heats are on. Oops, I did miss pitot heats. There we go. Windshield and pilot side window heats on. APU is off. Bleeds 1 and 2 are on. Cabin altitude set to auto. Standby hydraulic pressure is on. PTU control is on. Hydraulic 3 isolation valve, elevator travel has been checked. Flaps, we have 10 degrees set. Trims are set ×3. Rudder travel, we'll check that. We've got good rudder travel. We can unlock flight controls as well. Steering switch is on. Yonde Emperor is coming on. And our app start checklist is complete. Now we'll run our taxi checklist. Do our flow items. Check for the freedom of movement on the flight controls. Taxi checklist. Control lock is off. Flight control is checked free. Take aux pumps 1 and 2 are on. Auto feather select. Takeoff warning. We're going to test this here. So to do that, we're going to release the parking brake. There we go. It's released now. And takeoff warning checked. No warning. That's good. Let's see here. Condition levers are set to max. Ice protection not required. Warning lights panel is checked. It's clear. Cabin is secure. Takeoff briefing. So we're going to be, just to review, it says 040 heading to 500 feet in the left turn direct to our first waypoint. 5,000 is the top altitude. Takeoff briefing is complete and our taxi checklist is complete. Alright, let's go flying, guys. Taxi lights coming on. Taxi out shot here. Background scenery doesn't look particularly great. Not a roads and no 3D objects, but we'll ignore them. Airplane looks fantastic though. Alright, and since we own ATC, we're going to be taking the runway here before takeoff. Min fuel, I think we had like 5,200 required. We got 5.9 on board. Yeah, 53 required. We got 5.9 on board. Runway, we're going to be departing runway 4. I see it on the sign right there. Lead air is set to min. Exterior lights are set. And before takeoff checklist is complete. Going on. I think I got an axis that's not centering properly. Okay. Now we're tracking straight. That was weird. It was pulling to the left on me. Alright. Strobe lights, landing lights. Wing and logo light is also on. We're going to backtrack down here. We're going to take full length runway 4. The reflections make it like almost impossible to see the runway markings. That could also be I have the airport scenery enhancement pack installed. So Casey says, I love this plane, been flying it for weeks now. It's one of my favorites. It's really clean and crisp and polished. It flies really nicely. It's really in depth with the system. It's one of my favorites as well. Alright, we'll bring this around, get it lined up, clear on final, and clear down the runway. I should have configured the track higher. I don't have it set up right now though. We'll go without it today. Alright, runway 4, matching heading indicator. Let's go flying. Spoiler switch to flight. Takeoff thrust is set. $80 knots, checked. V1, rotate. Over 8. You're up. Get a flyby shot. Watch your ears. Above 500 feet, we're going to turn direct on course. LNAV mode. 1000. Climb thrust. Auto feather deselect. Flaps 5. And we'll set our speed bug up here about 200 as we accelerate. And flaps up. Go autopilot on. Standby hydraulic and PTU and ox pumps come off after takeoff checklist. Get a little bit of rain out here. After takeoff, landing gear is up. Flaps are 0. Climb power set prop 900. Leads 1 and 2 are on and selected normal. APU bleed is off. APU is off. Auto feather is deselected. Standby hydraulic pressure set to norm. PTU control norm. Tank ox pumps 1 and 2 are off. After takeoff checklist is complete. Which flap setting do I use? It depends on the runway. Long runway, I'll always just do flaps 5 because that'll give you the best climb performance once you're airborne. If I get a shorter runway though, and runway length is my concern, I'll use a higher degree of flaps to get the aircraft off the runway sooner, but it comes at the sacrifice that I won't be able to climb out as quickly initially after the runway. So it just kind of depends on situation. I don't exactly have a scientific method for the Q4XP or for 5, like I do with the airplane at work, but you know, just based on experience, if I feel like I want to get off the runway a little bit quicker with a short runway, I'll usually do about a flaps 10. Maybe flaps 15 if it's a really short runway, but if I got plenty of runway and I want to climb quickly, I'll do a flaps 5 departure. Alright, now that we're up, let's see, our flight, or cruise altitude today is 16, or flight level 160, so I'll set that up. 16 is set. IAS climb, altitude select. Good turbulence there. Get a little wing view action going here. That's kind of a cool shot right there. It's the mountain peaks hiding in the clouds there. French Polynesia has some very unique landscape. I should honestly fly here in Microsoft FlyJSim 2 and see. I don't know if they have the, I know there are certain parts of the world they don't have the, you know, what's it? The real world scenery. Why am I, photometric scenery? Is that what it's called? Anyways. This will be a fun one to come and explore though if they do. Some of these island nations in the Pacific. Alright, let's see. We'll go standards. I can't remember what the transition altitude is here. It should actually be on the chart. Transition altitude 9,000. Okay, so we haven't hit it yet. We'll get up to 9,000 when we'll go to standards on the altimeter. There's 9,000 feet. We'll go here and we'll go standards on the altimeter. Alright, we're through 10,000 feet. Oops, wrong switch. There's my seatbelt sign. There it is. Let the flight attendants know that we're above 10,000 feet now. We'll set the speed up a little bit higher here for a cruise climb. That looks like a pretty big thunderstorm out there in the distance, actually. Yeah. I think we're going to turn before we get there. That looks like it's probably more than 20 miles out, but we might have to deviate around the left-hand side of that storm up there. Let's see, I know it's not fully functional, but I think we can still get to weather here. And maybe be able to draw something, I can't remember if it works at all on the Q4XP or not. That's terrain. The gain is not. Let's see if the tilt works. See if we can paint anything out there. Let's see, we're done with this. We can get this out of the way. It does look clear out there. It's just one isolated cell, it looks like. It's actually kind of almost dissipated on this side. Right side looks a little more intense though. I don't know if that weather radar is actually functional or not. Doesn't look like it's actually painting anything. Yeah, because that's all terrain. And it only toggles between the two. Brightness up. So we'll just visually navigate around the weather for today. Try not to fly a -8 through any thunderstorms. Actually, out here you can see another one over there too. I guess that's what you get in summertime in the South Pacific. Alright, we're 15 for 16. We'll let the airplane get leveled off. Seems like it's actually pretty smooth, so as long as we're not getting turbulence, we'll let the passengers loose for a few minutes anyways on our short flight out to Bora Bora. Yeah, that turn did kind of point us away from the worst of it at least. We actually might not even need to deviate. We'll see when we get a little bit closer out there. I think we're going to be far enough to the left that I feel comfortable to stay on course. There's 16,000 feet. We'll keep the props forward. We're going to let the airplane accelerate for just a minute and we'll ease them back. Out of trim too. Yeah, it needs just a little right rudder trim. still just a hair more. There we go. That gets the wings all nice and level. Alright, let's bring props back to cruise setting. And now we can kind of relax for a little bit. Cue up a little bit of background music here for us. We'll put our nice Bose A20 noise cancelling headsets on. I had to come up with some more playlists. I'm back to my pre-Christmas playlist. We'll do this one. And on our way to Bora Bora. While we're cruising along too, we'll pull this down in the corner. We can close all our checklists from Tahiti. And then we've already pretty much got everything pulled up. I don't think we had any arrival altitudes we need to input. That's good. Really the only thing I'll probably set up in terms of VNAV planning. Let's see, these are these minimum altitudes, or do I have to cross? Alright, the only one that says mandatory is 2000 at Fox Tango Bravo 11 waypoint right there. So we could just plan across there. So what we'll do, we'll go into flight deck here for a minute. Set these up on the VNAV. I think what we'll do, let's actually delete this discontinuity here. After Atala, we'll just go direct to the Bambi waypoint. Because I think the Bravo Bravo, NDB, and Bambi are like right on top of each other, so we'll just delete that out. That'll close up that flight plan for us, and that'll make our life a little bit easier when we get there. And then we'll set BDOP at 4,000 feet. Where is that at? Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button. Trying to use it like an Airbus MCDU. Okay, so BDOP waypoint, we're going to cross that at 4,000. It's alright if we level off there for a minute. There's 4,000 set there. And then we just had the mandatory 2,000 at Fox Tango Bravo 11 waypoint. And it looks like that's already in there. And then to set that up, we'll go to VNAV. We'll do a target of like 1,500 to start with. And that'll draw our top of descent. Only about 5 minutes away, actually. Short flight, like I said. Yeah, I'm glad we got... Ooh. Yeah, there's some lightning. Glad we got to go around that storm. That's not one you want to fly through. Oh yeah, throwing down all sorts of lightning. I've had some fun weather. Let's see, I haven't done a live stream since before Christmas, I don't believe. Yeah, so I had some fun weather the last couple of weeks. I had one flight 2 days before Christmas. I ended up getting reassigned. The whole day pretty much fell apart because of a big storm pushing across the Northeast. Casey asks, am I a pilot in real life? Yes, I am. I am a captain on the Embraer 175. So 23rd, we had some pretty gnarly weather pushing through the northeast U.S. I ended up basically being reassigned to work 2 flights. One was going to Washington, D.C., DCA, and then we were going to do another flight up to LaGuardia later in the evening. Flight to Washington, D.C. was pretty fun. We basically ended up having like 30, 40 knot gusting crosswinds, which is, you know, right up at the limit of what the Embraer 175 is rated for, or, you know, the max demonstrated crosswinds. So that was kind of fun. Everything worked out fine, obviously, but that was fun weather event number 1. And then New Year's Eve, last approach that I got to fly in 2022 was a Category 2 approach, almost down to minimums. We were about 80 feet above minimums on a Cat 2 ILS approach, which was also quite fun. So, hadn't been able to do either of those 2 specific types of landings in a while, and got to do them both within a couple weeks of each other. Cat 2 especially was really a lot of fun. My first officer too, it was his first time ever doing a Cat 2 approach in the real airplane. Obviously, you know, we train for it every year in the simulator, but he never actually had to do one in real life until New Year's Eve, so that was a lot of fun. We broke out. I had the approach lights in sight at about 180 feet. So, Cat 1 probably wouldn't have gotten us in there. I was really glad we ended up briefing and setting up the Cat 2, because it was like it was reporting a half-mile visibility and a vertical visibility, I think, of like 200 feet. So like it was right at Cat 1 min. So, and technically, legally speaking, we could have shot a Cat 1, but I was really glad we did the Cat 2, because I'm not sure we would have, before the airplane called out minimums, I'm not sure if we would have actually seen the runway. Probably would have ended up having to go missed. And anyways, oh, we do have a little bit of a cloud above us. I don't know if that's overhang from this storm or maybe just its own little buildup that's kind of dissipating. A little bit of rain out of it. Alright, so let's see, top of descent waypoint's coming up just right after the Hotel November VOR. I don't know what any of these waypoints are called. That is the Huayane? I don't know how to say these names. Huayane VOR, that's pretty cool. If you follow the Sam Chui Sam Chui channel on YouTube, a few months ago he actually did a couple legs with Air Tahiti, and I believe that's one of the airports he flew into, was Huayane. Might have flown into Bora Bora as well. But I watched that video when I was creating the livery a few weeks ago. I watched his videos, you know, just because I was looking up videos and pictures of the airplane for research to make the livery. Those are some fun videos if you want to go see some real-world Air Tahiti operations. Looks like he even, I don't know if he was on the jump seat or if he just had cameras that he was able to have in the flight deck for making his video. So we got a message, I'm assuming that's top of descent. Yep, it sure is. And we can see we got the bug there. Let's set the altitude. We'll go all the way down to 2,000 feet. Technically that's our lower limit on this. We'll just let the airplane intercept and follow that down. And we'll clear the message. There we go. Well, it looks like we got the weather behind us, though, thankfully. Maybe one little buildup right by our island there, but I don't think that's gonna hinder us too much. It's not exactly a big storm yet. It is a buildup that might develop into a storm, but I think we can work with that. Either go around it or even go through that one. It would be bumpy, but it wouldn't necessarily be dangerous. That one out there looks a little more intense, though. But thankfully, we're not going that way. These were pretty impressive, though. I'm liking X-Plane 12's dynamic weather. It'll be a lot of fun when we get back into summertime in the north, you know, where I'm usually doing my flying and get to really deal with some weather. Alright, VNav path is alive, and we are on our way down. Turn the belt sign back on, get people seated. Bring the sim sounds back up. Things are going to start to happen pretty quick here in this airplane. We'll kill the music. Actually, that buildup, I think this is the island. Is it? No, that's not the island. Yeah, we're landing on the island out there. So yeah, that buildup is like right over the island. We'll see. It's pretty tall. I mean, it's technically built up to like flight level 250. As we're getting closer, it's looking a little bit more. Oh, risky. Alright, dude. Alright, there we go. Back on the autopilot. It's a hard part for me to remember. I don't have auto throttles. Okay, I lied. Yeah, that is the island that we're landing on right there. I forget which one that one is. I think it's got a little airport out on it. Flying an airplane with auto throttles has spoiled me. I always forget to move my thrust levers. This airplane too, you got to be careful on the descent because your VMO, your maximum airspeed, actually changes as you get below 10,000 feet. You'll see the barber pole start moving its way down. I think it goes all the way down to like 230, 240 knots, somewhere around like 8,000 feet. So I just want to, every time I fly this airplane, I gotta keep on top of that because otherwise I'll end up overspeeding the airplane, as I just demonstrated. Let's see, we might be able to see the airport. I believe it is out here. Maybe? I thought it was on kind of one of the little chains just off the main island here. We'll zoom in a little bit on our nav display. Alright. Approaching 10,000 feet as well, we need to get below 250 knots, so we'll thrust back again. Come all the way back to idle, let the airplane start to slow down, decelerate. See if we can spot the airport or runway. I think it's out here on one of these islands. Or am I turned around again? Maybe that is the island we're landing on out there. I guess, yeah, we're still 20 miles away. That's a lot closer than 20 miles, so that is our island out there. I'm so lost. I don't know French Polynesia. Okay, yeah, that's the airport out there. See you there. I think we're not going through that buildup. It actually looks like it's dissipating now, too. It's got some gaps up there at the top of it. Okay. Good thing I'm navigating via radio navigation. I think if I was trying to do pilotage, I'd be very lost down here. Alright, coming up on 10,000 feet, we'll light up the airplane. flight attendants know. And our transition altitude, or transition level, is, I guess, 9,000 again, looks like. And based on release, it looks like the altimeter is going to be 1009er. As we approach that, we'll go ahead and set it now. .1009 is set. There we go. And winds were 0405, so yeah, runway 11 should still be a good option for us. We're just gonna kind of nick the edge of that cloud, I think. We might get a few little bumps there, turbulence. Shouldn't last long though. Are you getting any turbulence? A little bit of light chop, nothing too bad yet. No, we got through that one without too much of a rough ride. That's good. There's that high speed awareness coming down, so we got to keep an eye on speed. Or reduce the thrust back to 20% on the torque. Just kind of bleed off a few knots of airspeed. Oh, we never just set our landing speeds either. I'm slacking over here. We'll do a landing flaps 35. This runway is pretty short. It's only about 5,000 feet long. So we'll definitely do flaps 35 landing. We've got a V approach of 107, or sorry, VREF 107, and so I'll probably add a few knots to it for our approach. That should be good enough there. Alright, here we're about to start the approach. So we're about to cross over the Bambi waypoint. That'll pretty much, the approach will take us out and set us up on a left downwind and a base and then final. And there she is. We'll do, there we go, that view. We'll go to passenger view. Pretty cool looking island. I'm guessing, I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing these islands are probably former volcanoes, or maybe some of them still active volcanoes. So they've kind of got that, you know, all of them kind of have like a ring around them. Then with the steep, sheer cliffs on the mountains. I should learn more about like geography of the South Pacific Ocean. I really don't know much. I've never, even in the sim, I haven't flown down the South Pacific very much. There's some cool places to explore. The Cook Islands, Tonga, Tahiti. Fiji. Alright, so we should level off, I believe, at 4,000 feet for a couple of minutes here. We'll keep an eye on the VNav to make sure it'll make our descent down to 2,000 feet at our final approach fix. Being as clear as it is, I'm almost tempted just to click off the autopilot and just hand fly at base and final, and maybe cut the approach a little bit short. We'll do the full approach. I'm feeling lazy today. We'll do an easy workload. This is the first day I've actually flown the sim since I've been home from my last trip. I actually did quite a bit of flying on my last trip, so I kind of got burned out a little bit with flying, which is kind of weird for me to say. It takes a lot to burn me out, but I did do a lot of flying. But it's good to be back in the sim. Alright, so there we're leveled off at 4,000 as we suspected. We'll bring the power back up. Kind of maintain somewhere around 200 knots, give or take. Alright, and we're going to jump down here. We're just going to take a look at the VNav screen and make sure it's still set for the descent down to 2,000 feet. I think it is. I mean, it's still drawing our bug here, our vertical deviation scale. We'll monitor it and just make sure it starts the descent sometime around this area, around the Boko waypoint. There we're making the turn, turning our base. It's a cool shot. Alright, we're looking pretty good. Again, I'm guessing it's going to start a descent. It's drawing 3907 as the altitude crossing for Bokal. It's kind of losing a little bit of altitude there. Curious to see what it's going to do. There, returning final. I never did set minimums on the approach. Since we're visual anyways, I'm not going to worry about it. But 620 for MDA, so we'll call it 700 feet is what we'll set on the altitude selector. We'll disconnect the autopilot by 700 feet. Alright, there we've begun the descent. We're turning final. We're going to start speed reduction. We need to start configuring the aircraft. And prepared for landing. There we did run a descent check. Fast belt sign is on. Landing altitude set. Altimeters, we got 1009er set up. FMS is set. Navigator set. Landing data and bugs are set. Ground proximity landing flap switch is set to 35. Approach briefing is complete. Descent check is complete. Approach checklist. Standby hydraulic pressure is on. P2 control is on. Aux pumps 1 and 2 are on. And cabin is secure. Approach checklist is complete. Alright, below 200, we can go to first notch flaps. We'll bring the props up to 900. This is where you've got to be really on top of our airspeed. Make sure we don't get too slow as we come down. Alright, 3 for 2. This is going to get us over the final approach waypoint at 2,000 feet. So I'm going to set the altitude selector down to 700. That was our minimums. So we'll have the autopilot off by 700 feet. Alright, below 180, I think it's like 185 or something like that, 181. We'll go flaps 10. You're down. I forget this airplane gives you the gear warning at 10 degrees. Bringing up a little bit of power to make sure we don't get going too slow. Alright, let's go flaps 15.
2500.
Alright, we're gonna select auto feather, there we go. And below VFE for flaps 35, we're gonna go flaps 35. Let the speed kind of bleed back to V approach. Landing checklist. Warning lights panel is checked. Prop set to max. Actually, we haven't done that yet. There you go, prop set to max. Watching the speed as we do that. Landing gear is down through green. Flaps 35 set. Auto feather select. And landing check is complete. I think we got a wrong V approach. At low speed awareness is up pretty high. Yeah, we're at flaps 35. Huh. Something, I think you gave me a wrong number in that app. I don't want to get down into that red speed tape because I don't want to stall the airplane. We don't have a switch up here. No, that's normal. Okay, well, we'll go with it. We'll keep a few extra knots. I don't think we'll have any issues with the runway. Autopilot's coming off. We'll set the missed approach altitude up to about 2,000 feet. And then I like to cancel VNAV on the FMS down here, because otherwise it will give me a false glide slip warning as we get down close to the runway. Then I also, because it's still kind of a bug with this airplane, I'll inhibit terrain, just so we don't get the nuisance terrain warnings on approach. Turn the flight director off as well. It's not really giving me any useful guidance anymore. I'm going to try to focus on the pappies out there. We'll turn the yoke on for you guys as well. I think we got maybe 3 whites. No, there just went 4 whites. We're going to let the airplane down a little bit. Try not to get too much excessive sink rate. Sink rate there, I think we got 1 red on the pappy lights. We're coming into our nice 3-degree glide path. And still a tad high, letting it down. Watching the sink rate. Don't want to fall in too quickly
500.
here. Alright, there we go. 500 on path, stable landing. Oh, trending slightly high, correcting. All over the place with this one. There we go. On path.
Sink rate.
Sink rate. Checks.
Sink rate.
50.
That really dropped
40,
out from under us there.
30. 20. 10.
Oh, that was a dash smash. I think I got slow on the short final there. I have to go watch the replay. That was a slammer. Really a slammer. I think XP Realistic tends to over-exaggerate the touchdown, I've noticed, but that was still pretty firm. We'll look at the touchdown descent rate in the replay. Alright, 180 here on the runway. This is what happens if I don't fly the Dash 8 in a while. Last time I flew it, I actually did a couple of flights before to try to knock the rust off, but that tends to be the common theme if I'm not careful, is I will smash the landing. I should have gone around with that sink rate warning, honestly, being that close in. No harm going around trying it again. That's alright though. Yeah, lower degree of flaps definitely helps. I chose the flap 35 for this runway specifically just because it is a little bit shorter. But yeah, as you saw there, if you're not right on top of your speed, I think I got about 5-10 knots slow. Yeah, the bottom just drops out from under if you get too slow. Alright, we are clear of the runway. Flaps are coming up. We're going to start the APU. Landing lights, beacon light, and wing lights come off. Deselect that. We can turn these off. And we'll park it on this farthest stand right here on the left. Welcome to Bora Bora, everybody. We'll park it right here on stand 3. Oh, too far. Try to get the Marshall cam set up here. There we go. Try the taxi light off. There we go. Oh, I'm not blinding the Marshall. Reflections are kind of doing some funky stuff there. Still a few graphical bugs. Alright, there we go. We'll set the park brake. APU's up. Gen and bleeder coming online. We're going to pull these back to the start feather. Let them cool down. And shut down checklist. Parking checklist. Parking brake is on. Props set start feather. Fast belt sign is coming off. Standby hydraulic pressure is off. PTU control off. Tank aux pumps 1 and 2 are off. Nose wheel steering switch comes off. Bleed air 1 and 2 are off. APU gen and bleed are on. And that's been about 30 seconds. We'll shut down the engines. Fuel off. External lights. We'll let the props spin down a little bit and then we'll turn the beacon light off. Alright, that should be... They're spun down a lot slower than they were, so we'll turn the beacon light off. And parking checklist is complete. Well, let's go watch that smash of a landing. This one's going to be interesting. See if I can drag this without crashing the sim. There we go. Let's see what we had. Oh yeah, it's a pretty high sink rate. 500. I think I arrested it a little bit. It's still going to be a 500 though. Just shy of 500. Yeah, that was a pretty hard landing. What was our G loading on the touchdown? Yeah, G loaded it up. We added about a 0.8, 0.9 to the G load, so 1.9 G. So didn't break the airplane, but you wouldn't be getting compliments from the passengers on that one. Yeah, that was firm. Not a greaser, that's for sure. Well, guys, I think we're just going to keep this one short and sweet today. Pretty fun to do just a quick hop in the Air Tahiti livery. A couple of places I don't normally fly. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll watch a few more replays on the outro. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you next time. Yeah, that one was an impact.